Welcome to Red Baron Reviews. I'm Baron, and today we're taking a look at the Alpha Vest by ANA. What we are looking at is the Alpha Vest by ANA out of Russia. And what this is an awesome chest rig. It is a phenomenal piece of kit. This has a bonus feature that turns it into much more than just a chest rig. This is a very capable, multi-use, multi-platform rig. Now, on the surface, what it is a 7.62 by 39 AKM style chest rig. It has 4 magazine pockets that will accommodate a total of 8 30-round AK mags. As far as fitment goes, you're looking at 2 mags a pouch if you want to do that. Personally, I like running just 1 mag per pouch. When you start double stacking mags, this rig on its own is fine, but if you're running a plate carrier underneath of it, if you go into the prone, it's very uncomfortable and it sets you up off the ground. As far as magazine compatibility goes, doing double stacks, it'll work good with polymer magazines. It works good with steel magazines. These US Palm mags are just a little too big. It can almost fit them, and if you stretch the material enough, it might, but I don't recommend it. Also, if you've ever carried 8 AK mags that are fully loaded on your chest, it's not very practical. It gets very tiresome. If you're doing anything other than just LARPing around on the range, it doesn't make a lot of sense to run that many mags on your chest, at least not in this caliber. You would carry your extra mags in a bag or something like that. So with the pouches, they are adjustable. So if you're going to run 2, there's Velcro here, and this flap is Velcroed so you can adjust the height. You can also run 545 mags as well as AR style mags or Stenag style magazines. You just have to put something in the bottom to boost the mags up, otherwise the pocket will swallow it. The other thing on the surface that this vest has are some very comfortable shoulder straps. They're adjustable and have buckles to take on and off easily. And then it has 2 general purpose pouches. So these pouches are both the same. It's a mirrored rig. And these pouches are very sizable. So to give you an idea, you can fit a pretty large bottle in here. So this has a Gatorade bottle, and again, you can see that's kind of max height, but it fits it very well. You could fit most common radios. You can fit several Nalgene style of bottles. Depending on the Nalgene you get, it may or may not fit, but generally it will accommodate. You could carry med kit, flares, smoke, whatever you want to carry in these pouches. And before anybody asks, unfortunately, it does not quite fit a vodka bottle. However, it's pretty close, and that's good enough for me. I would be comfortable rocking it like that. So it'll absolutely fit vodka bottles. In fact, there's enough room. If you were comfortable with it, you could fit a whole second bottle, and then you just have to somehow hook these tabs up together. But it will absolutely accommodate vodka. So big plus. The Russians do a very good job at making these rigs. Now, also, if you are in the military and you're using this rig and your country has you invade somewhere and then they don't provide you, one, with instruction on what you're doing or what you are doing, and then they don't provide you logistics, a lot of times you kind of have to resort to things like looting. Not pointing any fingers at any countries, but that kind of thing does happen. And so if you're wondering, if you find yourself in that position, it will absolutely accommodate things like potatoes that you may take from grocery stores, as well as onions, you know, your typical Russian staples. it'll fit other things such as Skittles and whatever loot you can really come across. It'll fit and accommodate quite well. So there is a lot of space in here. All joking aside, there really is. These are pretty utilitarian pouches. The material, it does feel like a really good quality Cordura. It's water resistant, it feels like, and it's not as thick as like 1,000. You know, but it's thicker than like a 500, so it's kind of a good middle ground, and it does feel very water resistant. The stitching is excellent, and it's a fairly lightweight material. I think that this is going to be really good in the long term. So flipping it over, again, we have these straps, which are very comfortable. Again, adjustable buckles. More of these. The plastic or polymer feels very heavy duty. It doesn't feel cheap by any means, so that's good. The waist strap or back strap, it has a piece of retention material, so that's good, so your excess material is not flopping around. Very well thought out design. While I'm thinking of it, on the front, your adjustments up here have Velcro on them, so again, you don't have any excess material floating around. The harness system is kind of like an H harness. It's similar. As you can see, it's not a straight H. It has, again, this spandex type material, and you can undo it like that. Again, no excess material, so they thought this out really well. Whoever was the designer for this has either been in the military or spent enough time around people in the military to understand that excess dangling strings, cords, things like that can both cause injury, and it's really annoying and looks sloppy. So this is a very clean setup. On the back, you've got some vented mesh here, as well as this pocket. And at first, I thought this was a admin pocket. You could use this as an admin pouch, but it is a lot more than that. And this is where this chest rig really shines. So I'm going to flip this around, and notice across the front you have these buttons. So if you undo these buttons, well, first we'll start with the middle. If you undo these buttons, you're going to notice you have a generous admin pouch here with a flap in the middle. Now I'm going to get to what this flap is, but you have a generous admin pouch. If you lose your gear in here, because this pouch runs the entire length of the vest, so that this center pouch goes all the way out to the sides, you can undo these snaps here to allow for more room to get in there and fish out whatever it is you need. So very generous pocket, but here's the really cool part that I was getting to. This folds out and comes up through here, I believe. And if somebody knows more about this than me, correct me, but I believe these run through these D-ring style hooks, which are a polymer, these snaps. And then you have this front panel. It has more PALS or Molly style webbing, which is, you know, if that's your thing, it's not really a pro or a con to me, but it gives you more room to put things, like if you wanted to put a multi-tool pouch, magazine pouch, something like that here, you could. In addition to that, you've got adjustments here, or you could use these as points of attachment to wherever you wanted on these flashing points. This piece opens up into another admin pocket. And then the coolest part of this entire rig that makes this a total game changer is the plate pocket. So this has the ability to accept and hold plates. So I've got a 10 by 12 plate here. This is one of the Aero 500 plates, nothing fancy, just your standard size. And it has plenty of room to accommodate this. You have a bungee type material here to go over the top of the plate. And now you have front rifle protection. This pocket would be big enough to accommodate a bigger plate than a 10 by 12. Sappy plates or things of that nature, ceramic plate that's thicker will absolutely fit better in this and more securely. And again, a taller plate like a by 14 would probably be ideal for this. When this is being worn, this is snug to your body. You can run, you can jump, crouch, go in the prone. It doesn't bounce around. It feels very comfortable against your body. Works great. 10 by 12s, the larger size plate, your sappies, whatever it's going to be, this will run them. So if you're running a backpack that has a panel for a plate, you now have front and rear rifle rated protection. So really cool. This is a total game changer. If you're just patrolling or doing reconnaissance and you don't need the plate, easy. Pop it out, and now you can leave it as such, or you can unsnap these, which is how I prefer to run this. I don't like running this with the panel exposed. Pull this thing out of here. This simply tucks away back into this pouch. You'd snap these back, and now you are ready to rock and roll in a standard chest rig configuration. So very versatile system, very well made, extremely comfortable. You can run multiple platforms, not just the AK and 7.62 by 39. You're on all kinds of platforms. RPK mags, this can be adjusted to fit those. You may have to play with the flaps a little bit, but it should fit those. It's just a super utilitarian chest rig, and I absolutely love this. Now, we're not going to go into a deep dive on why you would use a chest rig. That's a video for another time. But guys, this is awesome. You can use this to recon with, and then if you see that there's a situation where you might need that rifle rated protection, but you don't want to carry plate carriers and chest rigs and all kinds of different gear, you just want a go-to, you run this with a backpack and a plate, you're in pretty good shape. So this is a total game changer. I really like this. This is very good quality. It's not some cheap Chinese wish.com feeling stuff. This is awesome. And all jokes aside, guys, with the Ukraine and Russia stuff, there is a human cost. Having been in the military, there are things that you do sometimes where you don't see the whole picture. A lot of times you will not see the whole picture. And it's not to say that they're innocent, but understand that some of these are just kids, and maybe their government's lied to them, or whatever the case may be, or maybe they are there with ill, intent. But either way, there's people dying on both sides, and when you take the politics out of it, it's people versus people. And I'm not justifying what Russia's doing. However, we need to understand that what this really is government versus government. So with that, guys, try to take everything at more than just first glance. These companies in Russia, you can still get this. I got this from Gray Shop. Phenomenal customer service, fast shipping. I chose a DHL option for shipping. They were running a sale, and even with sanctions, I was still able to get this, but I don't know how long that'll last for. So if you guys are considering these, absolutely buy it. 100%. It is well worth the money. It's much cheaper to buy from them than eBay. Again, great customer service, and at the end of the day, guys, it doesn't really matter who makes this gear. If it's good quality and worth it, I would buy it. I would definitely trust this equipment. So guys, if you have any questions, you want any specifics, please let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff, guys. And as always, stay free.